Declaration of Principles. We state that we make our own happiness or unhappiness. We make our own happiness or unhappiness. And today I'm going to break that down for you just a little bit further by helping you find one way that you can do that. The desire to be of service to one another can be best described as the call. And you'll have heard that throughout your life. Most ministers will say, I got the call from God. I got the call from God. And most musicians wake up when they open their eyes and they've come to the earth plane. It is in every cell of their body to become that musician. I'd like to share with you a song that my favorite group actually does, entitled The Call. And it has within it, within those words, everything you really need to know. So let's just, I'm not going to sing that for you this morning. I'm just going to read to you the words. Sometimes it is life we hear, calling from somewhere. Sometimes it is loud and clear. Sometimes it's so softly near. Sometimes it is in the sea. Sometimes in the sky. Sometimes it's in you and me. And sometimes it's a cry. Open your heart. I'm calling you. Right from the very start, your wounded heart was calling too. Open your arms. You will find the answer there when you answer the call. Sometimes it is in desire or in the love we fear, when the call keeps calling us till the fear will disappear. When we have no dance to dance, the call is in the song. When we have no voice to sing, then the call is calling strong. Open your heart. I am calling you. Right from the very start, your wounded heart was calling too. Open your arms. You will find the answer there when you answer to the call. Those words, I feel, really do sum it all up. Going within and listening to that still small voice some call God. Some call our inner self. Listening to that call within helps us move forward. So throughout our lives we feel compelled to complete one thing, one something. It tugs at our very inner core. It's insistent and persistent. And sometimes we're able to recognize the message and act upon it appropriately. And when we do this, when you do this, your life is a gift to others. And no, you do not have to be a minister. And no, you do not have to be a musician. When I got my hair done yesterday, it was done by a young hairstylist. Her name was Jamie. And I asked her if I could tell her story. And I already knew what my sermon was going to be about. But we all know that Spirit talks to us in many, many ways, don't we? And she opened up her conversation with me by saying, you know, I really love what I do. Every morning I come in and I'm smiling. And I want everybody who sits in the chair to leave here feeling loved, babied, and full of joy. Because that's my gift. Now, being a hairstylist, that's a difficult job. Standing for 10 to 11 hours on your feet. And yet, her business is thriving because that joy comes through what she does. She stated that she sees hairstylists that do their job by rote, if you will. They come, they'll slap you in the chair, do it as fast as they can and move you out. And she said, and she has noticed that each and every time that occurs, the person who came for the hairstyle is never satisfied, never feels the joy, actually felt hurried, rushed, and now they're uncomfortable with the curd on their head. We've all had hairstyles or went in for a color or a haircut that did not work well, and we were walking out very dissatisfied with it. Look at your lives. What kind of job do you do? Are you a victim that has to work that job because it's the only thing you can do? Or do you bring yourself fully to the job? Because when you do, and your heart is open, and your arms are open or wider, the people around you get that true self, don't they? They get that heart connection that you're there to give. So, if you are walking around in that horrible dream that you want to wake up from, feeling victimized, please get that anybody who comes into contact with you is also a victim. They are a victim of your choice. I know others who have heard this calling from within, and they have various job employments, whether it is as a physical therapist or a massage therapist or a florist. It doesn't matter. We don't have to be doctors, nurses, lawyers, presidents to have this calling within and answer it. Again, we make our own happiness or unhappiness. So what is the call? What is it? It is that still small voice within you that asks you to do something that you love, if you dare. And if you hear this as a child and recognize it, you will most likely be successful at an early age. And of course, your ministers heard that, and our musicians. All of us have that call, an inborn desire to be or do something, to give back to humanity in some way. When we are floundering around feeling disconnected, we have moved away from our own inner calling and have embarked upon the wrong road, the long road. It is difficult to find inner peace on this road. So how do we hear the call? Well, when we are born onto the earth plane, we still have that complete connection with our higher self. We know and recognize the call. Most of us, if we look back, can remember what we wanted to grow up to be. At some point, we gave up that dream. So have you ever been in a place of abject fear, depression, loss, or perhaps you are simply lost and life is spiraling out of control? When suddenly out of nowhere, you feel a sense of love and peace steal over you. And here is a different call. In the noise of your mind, you sit for a moment, whether it is in tears or just absolute fear. And in an instant, a calmness settles over you. And for those of you who have had that wonderful feeling, we wonder at the magnitude of love that is able to step in that instant. And that calling is from from our God source, calling us to remember that we can find that path. It's laid there before you. Don't be afraid. Step into it. Step into it. This is Spirit reminding you that your journey was supposed to be one of joy, one of love and abundance, one of happiness. It is Spirit trying to lead you yet again to the path you chose originally, that you chose. The one that is uniquely suited for you, and the one that, if you do, will bring you happiness, joy, to not only yourself, but those that your heart and hands touch also. Many times we are afraid to listen to the calling. What if we were a lawyer? What if we went to school and became a lawyer, just like our moms wanted us to? Because they couldn't, and so now they're having us live out their dream. We've already gone to school, we've spent the money for the college education, but all we really wanted to do was be a florist at the corner street. So, should you give up the high-powered job and become that street corner florist? What do you think? Here in America, people would say, absolutely not. That's crazy. But where would your heart find joy? In doing something, natural law states that when we give out love, it comes back. In doing something that we desire, enjoy, that joy comes back. So please trust me when I say that when you are doing something that you love, that you can get up in the morning with a full heart and you're ready to go, the money will come in too. Because we are here to know joy and abundance, love and happiness, and they do follow one another. It may not look exactly like a high-powered lawyer's house, but you will also be infinitely more happy in wherever the two end up. Fulfilling others' dreams for themselves. We spend our lives doing that. I have a nephew who plays baseball, and his father lives through him every day. His father makes his life a hell. Hell and here on earth. Do this, do that. You haven't done this right. You could have done this better. You should practice a little bit more. His father wanted to be on that Major League Baseball team. Son doesn't aspire to that. So already from age 5 until now, when he's in senior year in high school, his whole entire life has been about baseball, something that he does not really aspire to. And many parents have asked us to do just that, live their dreams that they could not. And so I ask you today to reevaluate your life. Create your happiness. I listened to my calling. I knew I wanted to be a minister when I was 6. It took me a long time to get here. The path was long. It was laborious. I hated life until I became a minister. But my mom told me quite loudly she didn't want me to be a minister. She told me when I was 11 years old that if I went into ministry, I would probably form some kind of cult and people will follow. And she was going to save me from that. I love my job as a minister. I find joy in it every single day. And I could serve Spirit and the congregation every single day free of charge, as the board knows. Happily. I have found my heaven. And so I wish that you would also find your heaven doing what brings joy to you. When Andrew Jackson Davis Jr. described the reason to create the Lyceum over 150 years ago, and his vision of the spirit world and its activities, he stated that all of spirit looked for a way, all of spirit looked for a way to be of service to each other. And there were those who especially looked for a way to be of service to humanity. And we know who those are, for they come in and speak to us constantly, don't they? It was their greatest desire to be of service. So recognize that even in spirit we have jobs, but they're jobs created of love, jobs of choice. So ask yourself, are you happy in your vocation? Do you give with your heart on a daily basis? Do the hands that you offer those that you come into contact with every single day, do they give out love? Are you instead in a place of, oh no, not another day. Oh goodness, I'm opening up the door to the job. Oh, when is it going to be 4 o'clock so I can go home? Because that place in space is not a powerful one. Are you walking in bliss? All faiths, all religions teach about that bliss. We state we make our own heaven and hell. Please make your heaven. It doesn't matter if it's as a medium, a healer, a dog walker, a painter, a musician, a nurse, a cat sitter. Whichever vocation calls your heart. Do that with love, and I promise you, you will be happy. And I promise you, the money will follow. And you will uplift humanity and bring humanity to another place. And that is where we need to go. Let's lift that vibration of the universe by choosing actively to be happy. Make that choice for yourself today. And I bring that to you with much love. Thank you.